Most people think building an AI business means building an app. Beat. It doesn't.
Right. No code, no co-founders,
Right.
no startup drama.
Yeah.
Just a 30-day roadmap to a high-ticket service using Claude, a service where you work 15 minutes a day.
Welcome to today's deep dive. We are unpacking a completely different approach to entrepreneurship today. We're looking at Max Ann's definitive April 2026 guide. The title is Build an AI Service Business in 30 Days. It systematically dismantles the standard startup narrative.
It really does. We have a fantastic journey mapped out for you. First, we explore why services completely beat products for beginners.
Right.
Then, we show you how to find a lucrative niche. You're going to use an ancient Japanese philosophy inside an AI.
Which is wild.
It is. And finally, we cover the exact steps to build a premium offer.
Let's start with the biggest psychological roadblock out there.
Okay.
There is this intense gravity pulling everyone toward building software. It feels, almost like an obsession.
Yeah.
There is a very specific YouTube vibe driving this narrative. It heavily pressures beginners to act like tech visionaries. You start feeling like you must raise venture capital immediately. You feel this crushing weight to build the next OpenAI.
I mean, it is incredibly intimidating, and it's mostly a trap. Building a product from scratch is a massive financial risk.
Right.
You're spending months in total isolation making huge assumptions. You are basically guessing what people actually want to buy.
Yeah.
Then you launch, and you might face absolute silence. Zero demand.
That's the nightmare.
Exactly. Selling a service is the exact opposite of that gamble. You deliver immediate value to a specific client. You actually get paid to validate the market in real time.
That distinction between product and service is crucial. So we need to clarify what an AI-powered service actually means. We are not talking about complex machine learning architectures. It just means delivering deeply familiar, boring business results. These are things companies already buy every single day. B2B cold emails, SEO-optimized blog posts, LinkedIn ghostwriting for executives.
Yeah.
You just use AI behind the scenes for incredible speed.
Right, and that is the secret hiding in plain sight. The client only cares about the final business results.
Exactly.
They absolutely do not care how the sausage gets made. Max Ann's text shares a brilliant real-world case study here.
I love this part.
It features a side hustler offering SEO blog writing to businesses. She has zero formal agency experience when she started.
The numbers in this case study are really compelling. She started out charging $3,000 a month.
She did. Then she aggressively improved her automated internal processes. She refined her prompts and tightened her workflow. Eventually, she raised her prices to $5,500 a month. But here is the truly crazy part.
Yeah.
Her actual daily execution time dropped significantly. She was delivering all this value working just 15 minutes a day.
It's a profound shift in how we think about work. It's like catering a small party to test your recipes.
Right.
You do that before you take out $1 million loan to open a restaurant. You learn exactly what people want to eat first. Best of all, you actually get paid for the party.
Exactly. You completely avoid the massive upfront financial risk. You test your business assumptions with real money from real clients.
But isn't a service just trading time for money all over again?
Exactly. AI disconnects your time from the final valuable outcome you deliver.
That naturally brings us to the next massive challenge. We understand the logic of building a service business.
Right.
But knowing you want a service doesn't mean knowing what service. We have to move from the why to the actual what.
This is exactly where eager beginners usually get completely trapped.
Yeah.
They look around and blindly follow the loudest market trends.
Yeah.
They hear AI copywriting is red hot right now. So they immediately jump into writing marketing copy.
Right.
But if that does not match your actual human interests, you fail. You will inevitably experience massive burnout very fast.
Max Ann's guide introduces a much more thoughtful approach. It relies on the beautiful Japanese concept of Ikigai. It's a framework for finding your true life purpose. It forces you to find the distinct overlap of 4 things.
Right.
What you genuinely love doing, what you're actually good at, what the world desperately needs, and critically, what people will actually pay you for.
It firmly anchors your new business in tangible reality. You stop frantically chasing the shiny new AI thing.
Yeah.
Instead, you build a service on your own authentic foundation.
Doing this introspective exercise alone is notoriously difficult, though. You sit down and just stare at a blank page.
Right. It's paralyzing.
The guide actually explains how to execute this inside Claude. You run a specific prompt called the /PG Ikigai skill.
It is a genuinely brilliant use of the technology. You download the skill instructions from the guide. You upload it to your customized menu inside Claude. You drop it right under the Skills tab.
Okay.
Then you simply run the command. The AI walks you through highly targeted, guided questions. It acts as an objective mirror for your professional life. It completely eliminates that terrifying blank page syndrome.
The source text provides another fascinating case study here. It follows a vice president of a construction glass company.
Right.
He ran this exact Ikigai exercise through the AI. He mixed his deep, hyper-specific industry knowledge. He added his lifelong passion for amateur photography. He factored in his extensive corporate sales background. The output he received was perfectly tailored and highly lucrative. He found his ideal, uncontested market niche immediately.
Yeah.
He started creating high-end, professional video marketing content. He specifically targeted glazing and construction companies.
That perfect business idea was just hiding in plain sight. Does an AI really have the nuance to figure out what fulfills us on a human level?
It doesn't feel feelings, it just maps your raw skills to existing market gaps.
So if the exercise works, you have your Ikigai niche. You finally know your unique intersection of human skills.
But knowing your niche is only half the actual battle. Now you have to package it in a compelling way. Someone has to actually pull out a credit card.
This is where positioning becomes absolutely vital. Vague, generalized offers will violently kill your business.
Yeah.
Saying something like, "I offer AI services," means absolutely nothing. To a business owner, that sounds like a chaotic science project.
Definitely.
You need to present absolute, undeniable specificity.
I help mid-market SaaS founders publish 4 SEO-focused blog posts beat. That is what a specific, compelling offer looks like.
You nailed it. It clearly tells the client the exact business outcome. It explicitly tells them the expected delivery timeline.
Right.
Once you have that, you must pick a delivery model. The guide breaks down 3 distinct levels of service delivery.
The first model is done for you. You do all the heavy lifting. The second is done with you. This functions much more like traditional coaching.
Right.
The third model is feedback and review. This is strictly an advisory or consulting role.
For absolute beginners, the done-for-you model is definitely the best. The tangible value proposition is incredibly obvious to the buyer.
Yeah.
The entire sales conversation becomes so much simpler. You are completely removing a painful headache from their plate.
Then the guide dives into the complex psychology of pricing. This is where things get genuinely fascinating.
Oh, yeah?
Beginners almost always underprice their services for emotional safety. They desperately want to secure that very first client.
It is a natural instinct, but it is deeply flawed. Low prices almost always attract terrible high-maintenance clients.
Right.
They micromanage every detail because they view you as cheap labor. The guide sets a very clear, ambitious pricing target. You should aim for $2,000 to $3,000 per month. You want to cultivate a smaller, incredibly high-quality client base.
Why demand $3,000 right out of the gate when you're just starting out?
High pricing forces you to target clients who value business outcomes over hourly labor.
That makes perfect logical sense. You have your Ikigai niche, you have your polished $3,000 offer.
Right.
But how do you actually deliver on that ambitious promise? You certainly cannot work 80 hours a week fulfilling it.
This is exactly where the AI technology finally enters the picture. We need to clearly define a technical term here.
Okay.
What exactly is a Claude skill?
A saved set of instructions making AI repeat tasks perfectly.
That is the perfect definition. You want to build these skills around specific client pain points.
Right.
You deeply analyze your ideal target client. You aggressively identify their 3 biggest, most expensive problems.
The text uses a great career coaching example to illustrate this. Pain point number 1 is having a weak, unpersuasive resume. So skill 1 is a highly tuned resume rewriter.
Exactly.
Pain point 2 is getting absolutely no interview callbacks. Skill 2 handles generating personalized cold outreach emails.
Right.
Pain point 3 is performing poorly in the actual interviews. Skill 3 generates customized industry-specific prep questions.
You are systematically turning a messy service into a highly predictable system. But there is a massive mistake people make right here.
What's that?
Using vague, lazy prompts will instantly kill your Claude skills.
If you just type, "improve this resume," you get absolute garbage. It reads like a generic corporate robot wrote it.
Exactly.
You have to be incredibly precise with your instructions.
Right. Compare that to saying, rewrite this resume for a VP of sales. Target a mid-market SaaS company. Focus aggressively on quantifiable revenue metrics.
Wow.
That precise constraint produces a highly useful professional output.
Whoa. 2-sec silence. Imagine compressing a full day's agonizing work into a flawless 5-second output.
It completely shatters your traditional concept of time and labor. But we have to highlight the most critical insight here.
Okay.
Claude solely handles the raw, mechanical execution of the task. You are the one who handles the final judgment.
You absolutely must be the final filter for the work. You provide the subjective human taste. You manage the rigorous quality control process. You cannot just pass raw AI prompts along blindly.
If you try to skip that critical judgment layer, you fail. Your paying clients will instantly notice that robotic, soulless tone.
Yeah.
Your ultimate value in this business is your human editorial eye.
If AI is doing the heavy lifting, aren't clients getting ripped off, paying premium prices?
No, they pay for your human taste, quality control, and the refined final result.
So the delivery system is highly automated and systemized. You have your Claude Skills built and tested.
Right.
Now you actually need to acquire paying clients. You have to find the specific people who will pay you.
Client acquisition comes down to a vital, undeniable synergy. It is the combination of cold outreach and personal branding. They absolutely have to work together to be effective.
Doing outreach without a personal brand is freezing cold. Building a brand without doing outreach makes you practically invisible.
Exactly.
But when you combine them, your content actively warms up those cold, direct messages.
The guide outlines a surprisingly simple daily outreach cadence. You commit to sending 20 highly personalized direct messages a day. When someone replies, you send a short, customized Loom video. That video naturally leads to a 20-minute discovery call.
I still wrestle with the dread of sending cold messages myself. It feels intrusive.
Right, and that is a completely normal human fear. But remember, these are highly targeted, deeply researched messages.
Yeah.
You are not blindly spamming thousands of random people. You are genuinely offering to solve a very specific, painful problem.
The guide strongly argues that calls beat automated funnels. This is especially true for beginners.
Definitely.
Funnels are entirely passive and incredibly slow to optimize. Live calls force you to learn the market immediately.
Right.
You hear their real objections and fears in real time.
You also learn their exact, specific industry terminology. You simply cannot get that nuanced data from website analytics.
Yeah.
The guide also insists you pick one primary personal brand platform. Choose LinkedIn for B2B services.
Okay.
Pick X for tech-focused niches. Use YouTube if you excel at video.
You must post consistently on that platform for 30 straight days. Absolute perfection matters significantly less than sheer consistency early on.
Exactly.
You just need to establish a steady, reliable, professional presence. Is 20 messages a day really enough volume to build a 6-figure service?
Yes, if they are highly targeted. Conversations give you faster learning than mass spam.
We'll be right back to talk about the most important rule of all right after this.
Welcome back. We have meticulously covered the entire 30-day operational framework, but there is one final overarching philosophy left to discuss.
Yes.
It is the concept that truly makes or breaks the entire endeavor.
It is the ultimate unbreakable rule of this business model. You must sell first and build later.
People absolutely love to hide in the safety of the building phase. They spend months endlessly refining their brand colors.
Yeah.
They spend weeks perfecting their internal Claude skills. They endlessly tweak their website logos.
They do all of this before anyone has paid them a single dime. It is a massive, highly seductive psychological trap.
Yeah, it really is. Real, messy client projects are what actually refine your service. Early, brutal feedback is the only thing that actually matters.
True perfection is what you get after you serve 10 clients. It is never what you have before you launch.
Right.
You have to grant yourself permission to start messy.
The guide sets very clear, realistic expectations about this journey. It certainly does not promise magical passive income on day 31.
No.
You will not be sipping cocktails on a beach next month.
What it actually promises is deep operational clarity. It promises real, meaningful conversations with potential clients. Most importantly, it promises a direct path to your first paying client. Earning that first dollar is always the hardest part of any business.
Absolutely.
Can you really ethically sell something you haven't fully built yet?
You aren't selling a finished app. You are selling your commitment to a result.
That brings us to our big idea recap for today. The businesses that ultimately survive this massive AI revolution won't be the ones with the fanciest proprietary code. They will be the businesses where humans apply taste, context, and relentless quality control to AI execution. You start incredibly small, you get highly useful, and then you scale.
Exactly. Do not try to build a massive software app. Build a highly targeted service.
Yeah.
Do the hard work to find your Ikigai. Use Claude to handle the mechanical execution. Apply your unique human judgment to the final output. Always sell the result, not the tools.
We want to leave you with a provocative thought today. Think deeply about the one skill you take completely for granted. It is the thing that feels incredibly easy to you, but looks like absolute magic to everyone else.
Right.
If you could automate 80% of the manual labor for that specific skill tomorrow, what kind of empire could you build with your newly freed time? Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. Out to your music.